the witness is also a role, correct. It rolls into you. It's a role that rolls into you. When it drops away, it rolls away. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, Hetu Drishtanta Varjitam, it's not something to be figured out as an object. Using the Hetu, Drishtanta, these are all tools of the logicians. These are their spears and swords with which they pierce everybody else's argument. Brahman cannot be a product of an argument because it is not a product, period. It's neither the producer nor the product. It is you. It is you that is Ananta, that never began, that never is going to come to an end, and it is you about whom you are ignorant, about what you really want. That ignorance is about your own nature. What you want to be, you already are. And so therefore, there is no need to try to figure it out as an object. In fact, the more logic I use, the further away I get from Brahman. Because wrong means of knowledge, like taking the wrong train to go to New York and ending up somewhere else instead and saying, how come I got here? You took the wrong train. That's what happened. Next time also I went somewhere else. I want to go to New York, but I keep finding myself in San Francisco. Why? Life after life, I'm finding myself in San Francisco. That is because you're not using the correct means of knowledge. And the correct means of knowledge here is Vedanta Shastra that reveals who you are by knocking off the not you, not you, not you, not you, neti, 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 naham, 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 naham. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham, nata shrotra jihve, न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योम भूमिः न तेजो न वायुः. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the senses, I'm not this, I'm not my intellect, I'm not my rationale, I'm not the logic. And then I'm not the five elements from which all the sense organs have come, I'm not the sense organs, I'm not their source. Then are you a big zero? No. Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am Shiva. Shiva here doesn't mean Lord Shiva, auspicious. The word Shiva means auspicious, free of anything unlucky, free of anything inauspicious. Auspicious. Shiva is auspicious, and this auspicious presence, I alone am, nobody else is this. Chidananda Rupaha, Chit Rupaha, Chidrupaha. This Chit, this conscious presence, this consciousness, this sentience, which is all pervasive, I am. Ananda, all pervasive, free of limitations, therefore fit for revelry. That alone which is free of limitation is a subject of revelation, and that subject indeed Aham Asmi. So Hetu Drishtanta Varjitam, and earlier also it had said in verse number 3 or 4, Sheshaha Nyayascha Vistaraha. So this Upanishad does a small put down. Once in a while, the inner Nayayika bobs the head. Shut up, keep quiet. It puts down all that this is an object of mentation that I can somehow, figure out and derive Brahman. Because here the pramata has to be knocked off. The Vishesha, the specialty of this teaching is that it knocks off the knower from the pedestal. And so that's what it is doing right now. When it says Hetu Drishtanta Varjitam, the Ahankara that was sitting in the pedestal and trying to figure out everything and write a thesis, all the Upanishad through this verse pricks a pin into this inflated ahankara. Me. I have named everything in the universe. Brahmas, ignoramus. I have named, even I'm going to name Brahman also. Like this, the one that set out to figure out Brahman itself is, biffed out of existence, deflated. Just a small pin. Sharp, knowledge, lets the air out of this figurer outer. The one that puts an end to the figurer outer, that's what. The figurer outer has to be given a burial. Yeah. A nice little eulogy. Bye-bye. Tata. You had a nice time, you had a good run, but now it is time to put you ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And then what? And then once the figurer outer is put to rest in peace, because all your knowledge was just in pieces, discrete knowledge. Yeah, while you were alive, you were just figuring out things in pieces. Now that you are dead, leave me in peace. In fact, let me rest as Brahman in peace after you are gone. So this is a funeral dirge, this mantra for the figurer outer, like everybody sings one song saying bye-bye, goodbye, and you praise the person, because no point in talking ill of the dead. This dead pramata is put to bed, put final resting place, and in the coffin nailed down, and then not able to come out. And then what? And then you sing a few things. Yes, you made me prepare for this knowledge. You had a good run, and now I don't need you anymore. And so, ashes to ashes, bye-bye. And this pramata gone, then only I can figure out the next word, aprameyam. Aprameyam, not an object of no worship. Not an object to be objectified. In fact, it is the only thing that cannot be objectified is the subject. Oh, but that's so sad. Brahman, which is such an important thing, cannot be objectified. Everything else I can be objectified. Then how can it be Ananta? If everything can be objectified, Brahman is objectification varjita, free of objectification. Then how can I be, how I can be like this? Brahman should also be able to be objectified because it is bigger than everything else. That's so sad, I can't objectify Brahman. Dry your tears. Why? Because Brahman need not be objectified to be known. Oh, that. Yeah. Why? Because it is self-revealing. A thing comes to be known in two ways. Either it is Svatasiddha, self-revealing, or it is Pramana Siddha, it is revealed through a means of knowledge. So, everything else comes to be known. This is what? Flower comes to be known through the eyes. And sometimes the eyes can play tricks because nowadays, they make flowers of all ways, all kinds of things. And then, then you smell it. Sometimes they put fragrance also, rose essence. And that also, nose also plays a trick. Eyes play a trick. What is the definitive means of knowledge to cognize this flower? You just go and touch the petals. That's Ishvara right here. No one can do this. You can use satin, you can use all kinds of, velvet, you can use anything, paper with some kind of, coating on it. It will never, plastic, ugh. But, it will never. This is Bhagavan. You touch this flower, it is Bhagavan. Because the means of knowledge have gone to the object of knowledge and then brought this knowledge that this is authentic flower to light. Yeah. This is brought to light, correct? You replace flower with Brahman. First of all, what are you going to show? Yeah. Replace flower with Brahman. Brahman is you. Do you need a means of knowledge to know that you exist? Oh, let me think about it. I don't know. I think, therefore I am. Who said that?
Descartes.
I told you what is wrong with Descartes. He put Descartes before day horse. That is what is wrong with Descartes. You know, that's what it is. And thankfully, before he died, he said, I am, therefore I think. You can't say, I think, therefore I am. Then if you don't think, you cease to be. No, whether I think or not, unfortunately, I still am. Even when I don't think, I am. Correct? Thoughtless, I am there. Thoughtful, I am there. Presence of thought, presence of Brahman. Absence of thought, presence of Brahman. Because it's the presence of Brahman that makes me cognize the absence of thought and, and break my own meditation by saying, oh, how nice this thoughtless state is. Yeah. Now, wait a minute. You have been saying a lot of things and now I'm totally confused. In fact, I'm having a headache. Why are you having a headache? Because you have just been raving about Vedanta as a means of knowledge that's going to reveal Brahman, and now you say Brahman is self-revelatory and it is not pramana siddha, it is svata siddha, it is self-revealing. So why are you keeping on talking now? Why is this pramana needed? Why should I even go near verse number 10? Forget verse number 10. Why should I finish verse number 9? Because there's only one more week. We have to finish this Upanishad. That's the most compelling argument. So, but why should I study? You should study because Brahman is not, Vedanta does not reveal the self. Self is self-revealing. You don't need a certificate of existence, thank God. Because definitely you would lose it, and keep going back to the office to get duplicate. Oh, that means I am in triplicate? Yeah, looks like it. You don't need a certificate of existence. In fact, if you go ask for one, they will look at each other at the office, Social Security office. An institution needs a certificate of existence. You don't need one. Thank God. Why? Because I exist. No, but I have a driver's license. That's not a certificate of existence. That is just something to let you loose on the road. That is just a valid document that lets you loose on the road. No, but I show it at airports, because they want to check your face. That your face is exactly like the picture in the driver's license, which is I think it's very difficult because the driver's license photo is always, very funny. I don't know how, I feel sorry for those people who check that ID and keep looking at you and checking that and looking at you. No other work. So, this is what the whole thing is. And Brahman, the knowledge of Vedanta. Vedanta is a means of knowledge to reveal your nature, not to reveal you. And the revelation of your nature is done in a very exciting way by removing all that doesn't belong because you are already self-revealing. The not you has taken over, the not you has proliferated in the form of thoughts, habits, orientations, fears and tears. And those are removed. It's like the covering of the sun is removed, the clouds are removed, the fog is, dissipates. Fog dissipates. The sun doesn't have to be polished in order to shine. Yeah, if you try to go polish the sun, the polishing cloth will be polished at first. Yeah, polisher will be polished off. So therefore, the means of knowledge is deployed only at the place where the ignorance resides. The ignorance does not reside at the level of I am. Even the most ignorant person knows I am. I am, aham, sakshat, sakshi rupena bhasate. It is ever available in the form of the witness. I. Who did this? I. Who didn't do this? I. Who is sad? I. That Ananda I upholds even the sadness. That is its beauty. It's not opposed to ignorance. It is an I that is not opposed to sorrow. It's not opposed to duality. It sustains everything without being any one thing. Wait a minute, if it's not opposed to duality, why are you harping on the non-dual? It is not opposed to duality, correct. It is not opposed to ignorance, correct. But then, what is your condition? Are you affected by the ignorance and duality or not? Yes, okay, then keep quiet. That's all you have to say. It is for the sake of the ahankara that has taken the dual to be real and is suffering as a result. So that is what is dismissed, that is what is completely taken out, so that the I is revealed, just like in the wake of the fog going, the sun is revealed. So the means of knowledge is a big broom, a new broomstick that sweeps everything clean. It's a broom, you can say, or it's that fire that sets fire to this jungle of ragadveshas and ignorance, removes. And then, or you can say that it is a pruner of the jungle of ragadveshas. Whichever metaphor you use, it does not reveal the I. It reveals the I as absolute, free of having a second thing, and free of ragadveshas, free of guilt and hurt, free of. It reveals the nature of the I as free of all things that are binding it. All the notions of bondage are drop away in the wake of this knowledge. Itself not an object of knowledge, aprameyam, that which ties up and locks up the pramata and underground, so that what can come is this understanding, because I'm always trying to figure out Brahman as an object. That is where the means of the knowledge called Vedanta, turns you to the nature of the subject. Aprameyam. And then what? Why is it aprameyam? Anadim cha. Because it doesn't have a beginning. Prameya, means what is that? That which is yogya, that which has yogyatvam, that which is fit to be cognized as an object. So an object is cognized by tracing its history. This flower, before it was bud, before it was not there, and tomorrow it will not be there. Right now, flower. But here, anadim cha, anantam and anadi, that both of them are coming in the same verse. Very beautiful. Anantam in the beginning, never subject to end, and okay, some things don't come to an end, but then, they have a beginning? No. Some things have a beginning but don't come to an end? No. This has neither beginning nor an end. It is, as far as Vedanta goes, this means of knowledge is the end of ignorance. Ignorance has an end, and then yad jnatva, knowing this, muchyate, is freed. Freed from what? Some sorrow or the other, called samsara, the sum total of all sad, sorry, experiences makes one a samsari, very, very sorry all the time. And this samsari has now become what? Buddha. Buddha means, I see this. You can't even say enlightened. Lightened of the burden of the ahankara that is, that is lead heavy by what? All fears and tears and understanding. Mistake. The nature of the mistake made upon the self causes one. The nature of the mistake is to confuse the self to be finite, and the mistake made upon the self causes one to fall into this vat of samsara and fry away. And then what happens? Muchyate buddha. Frying in the vat of samsara, suddenly because of the, purva punya, one thing drops out, falls out, correct? Where? Into the lap of the Guru and laps up the knowledge. And then what? And is freed, totally freed. And so that samsari earlier now has become Buddha, the knowing person, from Buddh to know. Buddha, the one who has become the knowledge itself, because the knowledge of the subject is not different from the subject. The knowledge of it's different from other knowledges, bodies of knowledge, which this Upanishad will talk about later. Because the other bodies of knowledge, what is the Vishesha there? Because it's different from me. But here, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, the knower of Brahman is already Brahman. So the knowledge of the subject is non-different, non-separate from the subject. The subject being myself alone, I am Buddha. So this person finally is endowed with buddhi. Before it was no buddhi, because I was thinking all wrong things. So the buddhi was just on the back burner. Here the buddhi is actually being used for mochanam, for freedom from what? The sense of bondage, including the sense of bondage, to try to figure out Brahman as this or that, here or there. So that is the thing, yat jnatva. And here both the verses 8 and 9 talk about the jnanam. Self-knowledge is not an exercise in some kind of inference. Self-knowledge is not an exercise in feel good. Self-knowledge is not to be confused with meditation. Self-knowledge is the only means of liberation, Vedanta being a means of knowledge. What about meditation? It's an auxiliary means to calm down the mind enough to listen to the knowledge. And a means to remove habitual orientations that sometimes linger if the knowledge has not been able to completely remove it because there are blocks. So in order to be able for that knowledge to go deeper and assimilate, one can do contemplation. That is also helping the knowledge to stay, and then one can do meditation to help the mind to stay with the knowledge. So this knowledge cannot be replaced by anything. Therefore, this is the third time we haven't even reached halfway, and it's the third time that it is said jnatva etad jnanam cha dhyanam cha shesho nyayascha vistaraha, it was told. Okay, so then this answers the question, what happens to the person after jnanam? Because this is a very nice, it's like a cherry on top of the Vedantic cake. Because this is what everyone wants to know. What will I get out of this? Because if I'm not getting much, if it doesn't sound too good, then I can even stop right now. No problem, I need not attend the rest of the classes. But what am I going to get out of this? This is the human mind. Isme mujhe kya milega? What am I going to get? Tell me what I'm going to get. Because this is how the human mind works. I want to get something out of it. I told you it's not something to get, but still, what will I get? Please tell me what I'm going to get. And this is a very beautiful verse in honor of the Buddha that was described. Who is Buddha? The person of knowledge who is no longer ignorant of the Atma as being Nirvikalpa, Niranjana, Nishkala, and then Hetu Drishtanta Varjita, Aprameya, Ananta, Anadi. The one who no longer is ignorant about the nature of the I is told this, is lauded in mantra number 10. Na nirodho na chotpattihi,
na nirodho na chotpattihi,
na baddho na cha sadhakah,
na baddho na cha sadhakah,
na mumukshur na vai muktah,
na mumukshur na vai muktah,
ityesha paramarthata.
ityesha paramarthata.
Yeah, very nice verse. I think it's almost bodily lifted from the Mandukya Karika. Somebody can check that up. At least the last line, if not the whole of it. And which shows, that the Mandukya Upanishad perhaps has preceded this one. No problem, it is still an Upanishad. So, beautiful verse. And speaking of Mandukya, this Upanishad has been quite influenced by the Mandukya Upanishad. We saw Omkara Upasana and the three states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, which is going to come again. Little later after this has been, right in the next one, 11th verse, we are going to talk about the three states again. And so it is very much, it reflects the message of the Mandukya Upanishad, in many places. So here it is this is something that, this is not for the faint-hearted. So having duly warned that, this is a view from, if you go and take a tour inside the head of a jnani, what does it look like? This is what it is. This is a guided tour with the Upanishads shining the light, and we are entering into the head of a jnani. Kim tatra prapyate. What do you get when going there on this tour? On this guided tour, what do you get, and how does the jnani's mind work, and what is inside the mind, What is inside my mind, I don't want to say, because I myself can't stand what is inside my mind. That's why I make myself busy with various, outings and malls and balls and things like that, so that I don't have to face all the things that are in my mind. So, forget my mind. Let us go inside the jnani's mind. My mind is full of duality. My mind is full of tears, fears, anxiety about the future, regrets about the past. And then wondering how to negotiate this Jagat and still be a Vedantin. That's what is on my mind. And what's on your mind, oh Jnani? Jnani says, welcome. And this is of course an aside, but I can't help myself. But it's a related aside. In the Mahabharata, there is a dialogue between Sulabha and King Janaka. One King Janaka and Sulabha, there is a dialogue. And this king was, reputed with being one of the only people who could juggle a kingdom and still be a jnani. And a number of people came, like sage Yagyavalkya came, and so many sadhus came to test him. And he received them with open arms, he washed their feet, and he put them on the pedestal, and he subjected himself to get tested because he was still going through the role of a grihastha while being a jnani. So on the level of fulfilling his duties, he has to invite the sadhus in and all this, and then he would answer the question and they would just bless him and then go. And then, then one day the Amatya, the mantri or the servant, the minister came looking very perplexed, and there is somebody like a sadhu on the door. Oh, sadhu, I think I should go receive myself. So the king removed the chappals, went to the door and found a woman sadhu there. Yeah, Sulabha was her name. And he was very perplexed. Didn't know what to do. He had a gacha moment. That we have been studying in Manisha Panchakam. That even the most enlightened, person like Adi Shankara had a gacha moment. Who are you? Shoo. Go away. And this one is a woman. Oh my God. Woman and jnani cannot go together. Woman and sadhu cannot go together. Woman and housewife, bingo. Woman and mother, bingo. Woman and helper of the jnani, cook of the jnani, ding ding, fine. Woman jnani, that's an oxymoron. So he is just waiting. The Amatya, the servant, has already brought the vessels of gold and silver to wash the feet. He is still waiting. And then she says, please carry on. Because that's the custom. So with great reluctance and perplexity, he brings her inside and then they have a dialogue. And you know what she does? Because she doesn't, because he shows off, because he's very, what's the word for it? Perplexed. Like woman in the court, that the only woman I know is mother and wife. And who is this one? How to deal with her as an equal, as a jnani, and that too in those days where patriarchy was reigning. And he didn't know what to do. Very perplexed. So then he started on a big diatribe about how much he knows. He said, I'm not affected by the kingdom, I'm not affected by this, I am myself, I am a jnani and this one, and I have been tested, meaning you don't need to test me. I have been tested everywhere by everyone all the time. And then what does she do? She enters through her power of Maya, through certain powers that she had accumulated. She was a siddha. She enters and sits in his mind. And he complains. He said, you didn't take permission. And then to which she retorts, well, if you are a jnani, I don't need permission because your mind is the collective mind. If you are truly a jnani, then he doesn't know whether to talk or to shut up. Very interesting dialogue. And then, and then finally they reconcile. So like Sulabha took a tour of his mind. Like this, we are about to enter the mind of the jnani in this verse. Na nirodhaha na cha utpattihi. Very, pun-ridden, lot of double alliterations and double meanings, beautiful. Double entendres. Na nirodhaha means no dissolution. Na cha utpattihi. No rising, no, starting, no ending. What ends and starts in the mind? Thoughts. No thoughts. No thoughts. Jnani is thoughtless. PVS, permanently vegetative state. No. The thoughts are there, but the I-ness has not gone and attached itself, and each thought doesn't have a tag, a name tag. My thought, my thought, my thought. And after 3 my thoughts, what's the 4th one? Me thought, I am this. Me is equal to miserable, therefore. Another equation. Correct? That is not there. The thoughts rise and fall, but since there is nobody to grab the rise and thought of each fall in a Kodak moment, there is nobody taking a selfie with the thoughts. Therefore, it's as good as the thoughts have been, deactivated. The power of the thoughts to change this person's destiny and the dependency of the thoughts to make this person have a bad day or a good day has been completely deactivated. It's a button you keep pressing, nothing happens. Like in a low model car. Somebody asked me to inaugurate a car. I said, how do you do that? You sit in the driver's seat. So I sat in the driver's seat and just like that I was pressing the buttons. And some of them, nothing happened. I said, nothing happens. Well, this is deactivated because this is a low-end car. But if you get EX or LX or something they said, then all those buttons will have some things. One will make coffee, the other one will call home. All these things it will do. But this one is a low-end car, so the buttons, nothing happens. So for a jnani, you push the buttons, nothing happens. Na nirodha, na cha utpattihi. Let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go. They are just an activity of the mind, and I am not the mind. Na manaha aham is already there, so I am not the mind. And we already saw that the birth of the thoughts in the waking state is like the birth of the Jagat, and the death of the thoughts in the sleep state is like the Jagat in repose. Correct? Here, in other words, there is no resolution, there is no dissolution, and there is no, rising, because the thoughts are always connected to either something that is objectified internally, Sakshi Pratyaksha, or something that is objectified externally, in terms of objectifying something there. External means Jagat, internal also Jagat, correct? In terms of all these objects, they are just products of the Jagat. So when the Jagat stops rising and setting as a reality for me, the thoughts also come into and sit down quietly. So the Jagat is no longer a reality for whom? The Jagat is an incidental reality, like even the pot is an incidental expression of clay. It is not an intrinsic expression of clay. The other way around, clay is intrinsic to the pot. Yes, without clay there is no pot. But we cannot say without pot there is no clay. Can you say that? No. So the Jagat is an incidental reality. It comes, it goes. Jayate gacchati iti Jagat. It comes, it goes. Once in a while it stays for a minute or two. It comes to visit. That's all. I am free of this Jagat. In relation to the Jagat, who am I? Satchidanandam Brahma. And in relation to the Jagat, you can say, I am the one that watches it rise and set, like even with the ease of one watching a sunrise and sunset. Don't tell me it's easy to watch a sunrise. You have to wake up. It is effortless. It's effortless. You watch the sunrise, say aha. You watch the sunset, say aha. Similarly, inside the mind of the Jnani watches the Jagat rise in the form of the thoughts, because the Jagat is just right here. It's not outside. Watches the Jagat set, Jagat rise, Jagat set, has no problem, does not have any truck with me, does not define me, does not refine me, does not have anything to do with me. I'm just the observer of the sunset and the sunrise. Because I don't orchestrate it, but I am not in any way connected to it. With regard to the Jagat, you can say, Jagat Karta, I am one with that presence which upkeeps the Jagat, which sustains the Jagat. But without the Jagat, nothing is gone. With the Jagat, nothing is added. In the Panchadashi, there is a very nice verse. Maya megho jagat niram varshatu esha yatha tatha. Very nice. Maya megha. This Maya, this, dependent reality, mithya, this creative power of Ishvara is what? Let us think of it as the clouds. And when the clouds, what do the clouds do? They rain. What do they rain? Rain. They rain the rain. And here, when the creative Shakti of Bhagavan is the clouds, what is the rain? Jagat is the rain. She drops the Jagat with the effortlessness of rainfall. Maya Megha, she is the cloud, and Jagat is the rain. And then what does the Jnani say? Varshatu Esha, let her rain, yatha tatha, as she wishes. Let her, rain. And where is she raining on? What is she raining in? Well, let's go back to the example. Where does the rain, where is rain raining? Rain is raining, huh?
The Jagat?
Yeah, no, forget Jagat. When the rain falls, like today, rain is falling, where is it raining?
On earth.
On earth. But before the earth, where is it raining? In space. Yeah. In space, correct? So the rain is raining in space. This is a very beautiful example. Maya Megha, Jagat Neeram, the water is the Jagat, rain, and the water is raining in space. Don't say earth because, that's still far away. It's raining in space. And if Jagat is the rain, where is the Jagat raining, quote unquote? And it's a pun, Reighning. It is raining in that spaceless consciousness. In that consciousness space. That consciousness is the space in which that rain is raining. And why this example is so powerful is because it says Varshatu Esha Yatha Tatha, let it rain. Chidakashasya no hanihi. No means no, okay? Yeah, na-u. That's how the word no has come into being. Na-u. Not indeed is there a loss for Chidakasha, the space called consciousness. Consciousness is the space on which the Jagat is reigning. Maya is reigning the Jagat. And let's come back to the example. When the rain rains in space, does the space catch a cold? No. Does the space get wet? No. Does the space get into a bad mood? No. So Chidakasha, similarly, the heart space and that space of consciousness, space like consciousness that accommodates everything, including this irritant called the Jagat rain. That irritant is only for the Ajnani, not for the Jnani. So for the Jnani, that space-like consciousness cannot get wet, cannot get hydrated or dehydrated. That space-like consciousness simply is. Maya megha jagat neeram varshatu esha yatha tatha chidakashasya na uhanihi. So that space, consciousness is not, is not taken away because Jagat is come. No. Ko labha. What is the labha? Is there any gain? Does the space become fat after the rain has come? No. So too the consciousness doesn't become big because there is the presence of Jagat. Neither does the consciousness become small because Jagat has pushed it to one side. No. All that happens is within that space like accommodative consciousness, free of all, all kinds of conditioning, free of all limitations, space-wise not limited, unlimited, limitless, time-wise unlimited, limitless, object-wise limitless. In this consciousness space, Jagat is just a rain. Sometimes it doesn't rain, sometimes it rains. This is the last verse of the 8th chapter of Panchadashi, Kutastha Dipa, that we have studied. Very beautiful. So, the very beautiful thing, and so like this it says, na nirodha na utpattihi. I don't greet the Jagat with joy, neither do I view its passing as something, sorrowful. There is no sorrow, no joy. Doesn't mean that the Jnani, you won the lottery, you lost everything. That's not about stoic. That's not the point. The point is that there is no pull in that. The Jnani is spontaneously joyful because the Atma is limitlessly so. So the Jnani is just a, non-separate, is completely non-separate from that Atma, Brahman. But that doesn't mean that the Jnani is attaching himself, herself to the sorrow or to the joy. So nirodha utpattihi, the rise and fall of the Jagat in the form of the thoughts is just witnessed and let go of. It is not followed and chased after, and neither is it allowed to chase one. So therefore it is safe. And then what? And then inside again, going deeper in the Jnani's mind, na baddha, not bound. Oh, that we know because muchyate buddha. We saw that. The Buddha is freed. Na baddha. There is no sense of bondage because bondage is a notion. And if this is not understood, it very quickly becomes ocean. Yeah. So the oceanic bondage is notionized, by which knowledge is Vedanta. And this knowledge has made bondage into a mere notion, and that notion rises and falls, and I am not having any truck with that notion. like the rain in the space. The space is not is unaffected by the frequency of the rain. It doesn't worry about drought. It doesn't worry about floods. It simply is. So too here, the jnani doesn't feel bound. There is no bondage. And therefore what? Na sadhakaha. Sadhaka means the one who is trying to free oneself from the bondage. The one who is constantly saying, I should be free, I should be free, I should be free. I want to free myself, free myself, free myself. Na baddhaha, na sadhakaha. No striving. And the only person who struggles is the one who feels bound. Even if a small animal, you put it in the cage, it will struggle. The bird you put in a net, it will struggle. Similarly, jiva, you put in samsara, it struggles. Here there is no struggle. Why? Because there is no sense of bondage. That bondage, as an ocean, has been falsified into just a notion, and I am just the observer of the rise and fall of the notion. So I am not connected to that bondage. So therefore what? Na baddhaha, na sadhakaha. And then what? Na mumukshuhu. Yo, what is this? Not a seeker of freedom? How? Because the freedom has already been gained. Muchyate. The person has been freed. In other words, the seeking has come to an end. This is the beauty of this teaching, is that it makes all seeking, not just seeking for knowledge, but all seeking comes to an end. Why? Because all seeking is only this seeking for this freedom. Freedom from seeking is what I am seeking when I am seeking any one thing. I want to stop seeking. That's why even at the 7th marriage vow, the person says, this time it is forever, forever, forever. But what was the other time? Not forever. But what did you want last time? I also wanted the forever. But it wasn't forever. Now this is time, it is forever. So what one wants is forever. What do you want the house? Nobody buys a house for just 2 minutes. I'll stay and then move out. No, this is forever. No, it's an investment, but still that money is forever. It's all forever, forever. And here, when I know I am seeking forever, I am seeking the forever, then I stop seeking forever. That is what it is. So, to put it, like the Kenopanishad does. What does she say? The Kenopanishad says that the loss of the infinite is an infinite loss. In other words, it's a choiceless choice whether to be a seeker of the infinite, in which case your quest is finite because the infinite being revealed as you get it. It is understood. Or you become, an infinite seeker. Keeps on seeking this or that. Na sadhakaha, na mumukshuhu. There is no sense of bondage, so there is no seeking. And then, na vaimuktaha. This is the final thing. That the jnani doesn't even say that I am, I am free. Because the word freedom is a relational word connected to bondage. Free of what? Immediately. The word free begs the question of what? Muj. Transitive verb, Muj from what? From wild animals, from, from inner beasts of ragadveshas. What are you free from? Muchyate from how? From what? And, sakarmaka dhatu. So therefore, here, na muktaha. There is no freedom. I don't say, and it is always in relation to something. Freedom from that irritant. Freedom from samsara. Freedom from sorrow. Freedom from fear. Freedom from alienation. Freedom from any kind of limitations. Freedom from everything that I don't want, sickness, disease, death, etc. Freedom from mortality. So there's always something there. So that means there is a duality, correct? when I am a seeker, there is a duality. And here, na muktaha. So the person who was never affected by this will not say, I am free of this, because there is no seeking and there is no relational, oh, used to pit jagat, I am free of it. Because why? There is sarvatma bhava. I includes this jagat, and this jagat is I am in relation to the jagat, I am like Chidakasha, that spacious consciousness that accommodates everything, that is not in opposition to anything. So this mukta is a status in opposition to baddha. So there is no bandhana, so there is no need for mukti. Iti esha here means this beingness is called paramarthata. This is what is called reality. Everything else is unreality. Oh, come on, get out of here. This is real? Yes, this is real. So watching the jagat rise and set is real? Yes, it is as real as you will get. Parama and Artha. And also another meaning is that the final Purushartha. Parama Purushartha. This is the final, not just one meaning, the highest, the absolute truth. The absolute reality. Correct. And the second meaning is that Parama Purushartha, Paramarthata. You have gained what you really wanted to gain. In and through dharma, what you wanted to gain was this. In and through artha, security-ridden pursuits, what you wanted was to discover that you are secure. In and through, kama, all the delights of the senses, what you wanted to know and understand is that you are indeed delightful. That is what you wanted to see. That is what you want to know. And therefore, esha paramarthata, this indeed is paramarthata. Yeah, so I think it is, they are telling it is in the, it is lifted from Vaitathya Prakarana. Thank you. Yeah, Vaitathya Prakarana, you will find this. And so this is what it is. So, iti esha paramarthata. And, this is indeed that what you have been seeking. This is the highest and absolute reality. There is nothing other than this. This is yourself. And seeking this, all the Purusharthas come true. Sarvan Kaman Samashnute. Everything you desire, you gain at one stroke itself. You don't need to go any further. Very beautiful verse. So this is this concludes the tour of the Jnani's mind. So the Jnani's internal, the internal, workings of the Jnani's mind is revealed here. Nothing is opposed and nothing is embraced, nothing is rejected. Therefore the Jnani is never dejected. Nothing is taken on to be oneself, nothing is separated, and nothing is striven for, nothing is gained, because it was already there. No seeking, no bondage, no liberation. This is what is the ultimate, this is ultimate Vedanta. You can't get any, more than this. When you start questioning the existence of the Jagat as a, as a reality, then we are in the middle of the sea of Vedanta. Half the job is done. Yeah. एक एवात्मा मन्तव्यः
एक एवात्मा मन्तव्यः
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु
स्थानत्रय व्यतीतस्य
स्थानत्रय व्यतीतस्य
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
Yeah. So going further with the teaching, how to become like this jnani that is described here, how to have the mindset of a jnani is now described in verses 11. Let's see where else. 11. 11 to
13, 14.
Yeah, 11 to 14. After that it takes a little bit of a turn. Yeah, so the next few verses is very beautiful. Ekah eva atma mantavyah. So now from Brahman we are back to what? Atma, because we are talking about the mindset of a jnani, how the jnani lives in the day to day, and how the day to day is not an enemy of what the person knows. Like I know I am Brahman, but I can't stand this Jagat, it is not there. And so therefore, what? So, back to the teaching here. Ekaha eva atma. How many atmas are there? Ekaha eva. One alone. Mantavyaha. May one know. Not that man here means to think, but don't think of the atma as an object. Please know. This is to be known. What is to be known? That there is only one I through the states of sleeping, waking, dream and sleep. Ekaha eva atma mantavyah, and trishu avasthasu, in the three states, jagrat, swapna, sushuptishu, in the three states, know this atma as one and one alone. The I visits the sleep state, dream state and even the waking state. Even though the waking state is special, but still it is not as special as the Atma. Then who is the person? The person is sthanatraya vyatitaha. Sthanatrayat, the one who has, sthanatrayam atitya gacchati iti sthanatrayatitaha. So the one who is, beyond the three states. Meaning the one who is neither the sleeper, nor the dreamer, nor the waker-upper, is the one who is Atma. The nature of the I is not bound by the three states, because the three states are just places that one visits. We saw this yesterday, and so therefore I can go a little quicker, because yesterday we saw this in detail. The three states are like three different places. It's like buying a timeshare in different places. Somebody has timeshare in Colorado. Why? Because they like to ski in the winter. In the summer they want to go to Hawaii. So they have a timeshare there. And then what? In the fall they want to go to Florida. They have a timeshare there. Where are they from? Kansas. Why Kansas? Because it's right in the middle. Yeah, they are from Kansas, and then so when they are skiing in Colorado, they meet a friend for coffee, and the friend says, "Oh, are you from here?" No, I'm from Kansas, I'm just visiting. Correct? Then they go to Hawaii and they surf on the beach, and somebody asks, "Are you from Hawaii?" No, I'm from Kansas, I'm just visiting. Then they go to Florida and they are sitting there. And then somebody asks them, "So, when did you move here?" "No, I didn't move. I'm just visiting." And then, where is your home state? Kansas. What does it translate to? Turiya. That's where I belong. So, Turiya, I am Turiya. I belong in Turiya, which is not a state. That is me. I am Turiya. Turiya visits the waking state and skis and falls down and breaks a leg. And Turiya visits the dream state and has nightmares. And then what? Turiya visits the sleep state and disturbs other people's sleep by snoring. And so this is Turiya, just like the timeshare. I just give the keys, finish, throw away the garbage, give the keys and go to the next place. Similarly, after the sleep is done, I, forget all about it and arrive in the waking state along with the bag and baggage. And then what? From waking state, I go again to sleep state. From sleep state, I either wake up or go to dream state. But what I am is that state less. Yeah. Oh, Atma is refugee? No, it is in fact the opposite. It's the refuge of all three states. So it's not a refugee. It's not a refugee. It is the refuge. And as though refuge, a receptacle where all three states dance, and itself stateless, and itself not bound by any states. Sthanatraya atitaha. Sthanatrayam atitya gacchati. That which is not in any way bound by the three states. Beyond. Beyond means not bound by any one of them. But without its presence, waking is not waking, dreaming is not dreaming, sleeping is not sleeping. Without Atma's presence, without the presence of Turiya, none of these exist. And what? With its presence, all of them come to light. And because of its presence, all of them shine. But it is not any one of them. It blesses all of them equally, without being either the sleeper or the waker nor the dreamer. It simply is itself. And then what? What happens to that person? The one who knows this is called Sthanatraya Vyatitasya, the one who is this, the one who accomplishes this. What is this? Falsifying the waking state. Oh, but why didn't you say falsifying the dream and the sleep state? Because that you have already accomplished. It's the waking state that has to be falsified. And you have to see yourself as a visitor. Yeah. Just like you check into the hotel, you check out. So that's how it is. You check in, you check out. You don't try to rearrange the furniture in the hotel, and you don't try to bring your own artwork and put, I need a picture of Ganesha, I'm going to, change this curtain. Why this curtain? I need another bedspread. You don't do that because, it's just a matter of few days. You just put up with it. And then you just, you don't even make the bed. You don't even do anything. You just put in the key, or they give you a card these days. You put in a card, you check in, you enjoy the premises, and you see that as a springboard to go places and do things, and you enjoy a good night's rest. And then what? Next day, you just give back the key, you simply walk out. And similarly, the waking state, you enjoy all the things, you enjoy the duality without being harassed by it. You enjoy everything without trying to change it, without trying to impose on it, without being imposed by it. And then you check out. Yes, do not disturb. This is what it is. So when the waking state, I learned to falsify it, then yada, that time what happens? Tada punarjanmana vidyate. Such a person doesn't come back repeatedly to this sad sorry state of existence called Jiva. It doesn't come back. And also another meaning, doesn't repeatedly come back to be mortified by the various states. Oh, again I have to wake up. Oh, because every day one is dying a small death. And then, I have to wake up again. No such thing. It's all just something that happens without needing for it to be charged. And when the body drops off finally, then the person was already venerated as Ishvara while alive, and after the body drops off, continues to bless, whoever invokes them as Ishvara, and there is no plan of coming back. But that is not true for us. We will come back at 12 o'clock for Manisha Panchakam. Okay? Yeah. We still have to come back in order to not come back. Yeah. One more paradoxy of Vedanta. So there are a few questions here. I will answer that, and then we'll say the closing prayer. How can the rational mind be helpful? Can it remove ignorance? Yes. The rational mind is this I talked about at length in the beginning. So please catch up in the live stream from the beginning, this Upanishad, and it will be answered. But to put it briefly, the rationale, the logic and all, the mind is brought back as a servant, not an agent of the knowledge. First you dismiss the mind completely, because the mind was behaving like a CEO and a major shareholder and was causing problems, and so you dismiss the mind and then you disband all of it, and then you bring in the mind back as a servant that just shines the light on the knowledge. So the knowledge happens in the mind, but the mind is not an agent of this knowledge. So therefore, we do use logic, but it is Shruti Anukula Yukti, the logic that is helpful for us to understand, that does not oppose the message of the Shruti. Okay? And then the next question, is there a difference between Buddha and Buddha? Same thing. Buddha, different derivations, that's all, you know. So, Buddha means the one who is knowledge. Buddha, the one who has gained knowledge. So, small semantic, that's all. So, and then what? Then, because of our ignorance, we view the universe as real. What happens to realized persons? Does the world disappear? World cannot disappear. World is there, but the world is as good as disappeared because the person is not in opposition to the world anymore. The Jnani's mind is a collective mind. No. You can't say that, because then the Jnani will have a collective headache. Your headache will become Jnani's headache. No. Collective mind, I mean, this is a problem that we run into where, where the person keeps saying that, everything is collective, Jnani becomes one with everything. Then if everybody is one, why am I having other thoughts? Why can't I? Then that means only one person needs to gain the knowledge, correct? Yeah, in fact, this is the contention of Aurobindo school of thought. One person gains, because everything is one person needs to go gain the knowledge. We'll pay that fellow to go and study one Vedanta course, take one 1 month course somewhere. We'll pay the person, and then we all have to sit and do bhoga, and we just go, watch movies and eat and drink and get into fights, and we will still be, enlightened, quote unquote, because this person gets enlightened, we will all get enlightened. That's not how it works. Yeah, Jnani's mind means the mind that is not in opposition to anything. Sarvatma bhava, that's what it is. But you still are conditioned by that mind and by that body-mind complex, so you may have different thoughts. Those thoughts are not opposed to consciousness, which is the Jnani's mind. Jnani's mind is consciousness. So that we have to understand. Very important question. Thank you, Pratima, for bringing it up. I'm sure many people were having that. So, and then what? Yes, namaste. Would the Jnani say, I am a Jnani? Probably not, as you put it. Those who don't know, they don't speak, and those who know don't speak. And then, here is my silly question. What to do if people on the spiritual path, who is the less ego gone, the one with a less ego? What to do? You just enjoy a little contest with your friends. That's all. It's not really. You just have to, the thing is, does the Jnani say, I'm a Jnani? Why? Because the word, that's my question. Why? Because again, Jnani is a relative thing to Ajnani, correct? Why is there the need to say, I am Jnani? I have given up everything except the title, I am Jnani. So, and neither will the person say, I am Ajnani, because there is no Ajnanam, and then Ajnanam is opposed to Jnanam. So when Ajnanam goes, only Jnanam is, so then there is no need to hang a shingle, says Jnani Aham. So there is no need to do that. Now, what else? Then those who know, they don't speak. That I just said that for fun. And then, so if there is, and in Vedanta, in students of Vedanta, sometimes there is a one-upmanship. And unfortunately, the one-upmanship is not on the basis of how much one knows, but usually how long one thinks one has been with the teacher. Sometimes I hear this. I was with my Guru for 25 years. And I was with my Guru for 50 years. Guru is only 50 years, yes. I watched the birth of the Guru. And, so this is again a kind of a thing. So if anybody is doing that around you, just enjoy them, bless them, love them, that's all. And then enjoy them as a mother would when the child says, I'm going to beat you up. Enjoy. because this is a pint-sized fellow. Bite-sized fellow says, I'm going to beat you up. Mother just enjoys. What a great tour. Yeah, it was a nice tour. Yes, I enjoyed it too. And then what else? When we say the 3 states, what can we say is in these 3 states? Yeah, sleeping, dream, experience, Yeah, sleeping, dream, and then waking. That's what is there in the states. In waking state, there is object-subject division. In the dream state, less so, and kalpita. And then in the sleeping state, there is no subject-object division. Yeah. And then what? Fascinating to watch the dropping off. Weight loss is freeing. Haha, that's good. And then what? Yeah, no more questions. Yes, very nice. Fabulous morning to all of you. Don't forget to come back in a couple of hours, okay? Yeah, we have to come back. In order to not come back, we as though come back. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Tracy enjoyed that, Swamiji. Haha, lovely. Pranam, Swami.
Very nice. Oh.
So that example of that lady about the Yeti is just the same thing that he talks about the marbles.
Yes, exactly. Correct.